rail lines first reached the city in 1877, with the completion of a line between Brainerd and Sauk Rapids on the east side of the Mississippi. 12 years later, the Northern Pacific Railroad gave the local economy a boost when it built a cutoff to the main line between this city and Staples. With that, Little Falls became an important hub in a network that stretched in 4 directions, reaching all the way to the Pacific coast. When the so-called Staples Cutoff was built, the line crossed the Mississippi about 1.5 miles south of downtown, so that the main line was now on the west side of the river when it reached Little Falls. Needing a new depot, the Northern Pacific contracted with Cass Gilbert, one of Minnesota's greatest architects. Gilbert already had a national reputation when he began work on the project. In 1895, he had designed the new state capitol in St. Paul, and only a few months earlier had won the architectural contract for the much-praised New York Customs House. The Little Falls Depot was one of 4 that Gilbert designed for the Northern Pacific Railway in 1899. The style is quite different from the refined classical approach that Gilbert used with so much of his other work. Here he shows the influence of the Tudor Revival style, with a steeply pitched roof, rough stonework, and the use of heavy timber crossbeams. This depot was one of the last major buildings that Gilbert completed in Minnesota, having opened an office in New York City the previous year. Over the course of his career, he completed the state capitals of Arkansas and West Virginia. His last major project was the U.S. Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C. The railroad continued to play an important role in the local economy. By the turn of the century, Little Falls had become a major point on the Northern Pacific Line, ranking only behind the Twin Cities and Duluth in the volume of freight shipped. But by the 1970s, passenger service had ended, and the building was used for storage. With the building's future in doubt, a group of local citizens formed the Cass Gilbert Depot Society in 1981. 8 years later, they purchased the depot for $1 from the Burlington Northern Railroad, and it is now the home of the Little Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. Step inside and look at the interior woodwork and the restored ticket counter in this nationally recognized architectural masterpiece.